Hi, guys. Welcome to Read the Room with Cass and Alysha.
This is going to be a new weekly podcast with Alysha and I here to talk about everything bookish related.
Oh my gosh. We love to talk about book space related publication, content. And so we FaceTime weekly and we're like, you know what we should do? We should record this.
Because who else wouldn't want to hear all of our unhinged thoughts about every single book out there and every single hot take we possibly could have?
I also think we're funny. So,
I mean, I personally think I'm the funniest person I know, but I know other people might not agree with it.
that's quite the statement. I love that. Hopefully we deliver on some laughs for sure. I am just so excited to just because we have so much in common of books that we like to read. We're in the same content space. We go to the same conventions. And so I think that we have just so much fun together.
We really have the absolute best time. I feel like we are constantly going on tangents about everything. What should be a 5-minute long phone call ends up being an hour long minimum, I feel like, every single time.
Mhm.
So, this is kind of, I feel like, the perfect place for us to
Yeah.
just continue to talk more than we already do.
Yeah, and I have such a vision of, just doing this podcast and just connecting with a lot of our shared community and new community and getting to talk with, other content creators and possibly even, authors eventually. And so we're excited to see where this goes.
That'd be so much fun to be able to talk with authors, especially because we have, as you said, so many different favorite books and authors that we both love. I feel like this is truly like the best place for us to continue to share our love for all things.
And if you don't know Cass and I very well, we have a Venn diagram of books, right? We got a Venn diagram and we do have a middle. We do have a middle, and the middle is vast, but we also have our opposites. We do not always agree on books. And so it's really fun to kind of get to talk to them about that. Cass occasionally acts like that she is never going to talk to me again because I don't like her favorite book, but
Well, I feel like the issue is I gave you a few good recs considering you loved the City of Brass, you loved the Daevabad trilogy, and then I was like, let me recommend you a couple of other of my favorites, and you're like, these suck.
pause.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I said This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me is my
Stop,
favorite
pause.
read.
No, I have 3 words for you. Warrior, princess, assassin.
And you know
That's it.
what? It's probably my favorite romantasy book. I love it. It's
Uh,
so good. I had a great
um,
time with it. Why have one boyfriend when you can have two boyfriends and both boyfriends are each other's boyfriends?
I just when you were thinking to recommend me the book, you
Mhm.
were like, "You know what? This picky bitch with romantasy. This is the one that
Yes.
she is going." Okay. Well,
Yes.
this is just a little teaser of things that you could get with us because, we could have an hour talking about Warrior Princess Assassin. I'm not gonna put any of us through that by talking an hour of Warrior Princess Assassin, but we could. Just know that we could. Um, so yeah, we decided to do this and we're gonna be chit-chatting. And so what we're gonna start every episode with is we're gonna do some catching up. What are we reading? I would say what are we reading and what are we watching, but let's just be real that neither of us are watching anything.
The only thing I'm watching is currently the Stanley Cup playoffs
Yeah.
because my mind is focused solely on hockey. I know, didn't Off Campus just start and that's like a hockey romance? Haven't watched it, but maybe I'll do
Yep.
that after the playoffs are done.
You know, we are both big sports fans, but we are different sports fans on niche things. Like right now I'm watching the NBA finals. Well, it's not the finals, but the semifinals because my Spurs are in it. So I'm also watching sports right now. But it's not as time commitment as watching a whole series, you know?
I try to watch TV, but it's just never been my thing. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are certain things that I watched Heated Rivalry and have watched that show like 4 times through.
Okay, chat,
I
do I need to watch Heated Rivalry? I tried to read the
Yes.
book and it wasn't for me at the time.
It's so good. I had the best time watching it. The angst, the tension, I don't know. I just love it.
The problem, it's on HBO, right?
I actually have no idea. I have,
Okay.
like, every single streaming service, so I'm probably, like, the actual worst person to ask.
I say that, but I also have all of the streaming services except for some reason, like, me and HBO have beef that I only, like, renew my subscription when it was, like, Game of Thrones times. Like, Game of Thrones season, we
Mm.
are subscribing. As soon as Game of Thrones is off, I was like, "No." But I don't do that for my other stuff, but, maybe I should.
That's
Maybe
kinda
I
how I
should
am
just
with Stars because I only have
Oh.
Stars for Outlander
Under I
'cause
have
I love
not Okay, we're gonna get on a tangent on TV shows. We're gonna have to talk about well,
I know.
listen, when we say we can talk for forever, we can
I'm
talk.
serious.
Yeah, we're serious. Okay, so what are we currently reading? Let's go ahead and we'll start with you.
Goodness gracious, what am I currently reading? So I just finished Stormbreaker, and it is a YA fantasy. It was my audiobook. It was a YA fantasy. It was okay in the context of it was okay, but
When does it come
but
out? It's an arc, right?
no, it just came out. It was in my
Oh.
Fairyloot subscription box. So I came out this month. I don't know specifically when, the beginning of May, middle of May, but I read it, listened to it. It was good, but it was a YA book and it felt very new adult because I don't think there should be a sex scene in a YA book. So that knocked it down for me,
What are we doing there? Like, what are we
right?
doing? What are we
And
doing?
then
Just
I
market
just
it. Just market it.
market it correctly. I'm
Wait,
not asking for much, just for books to be marketed correctly. But
just like the
after I
bare minimum.
finished that, I'm trying to think what I just started. I just started something today. I'm only like maybe 20 minutes in to my audiobook, which is probably why I can't exactly remember what it is, but
See, chat when you read
read
20
so
books
much.
when you read 20 books a month, they get hard to remember the titles. It's fair.
It's I would like to say that it's only because I'm like 20 minutes in.
No, I believe you. Trust me, we will quiz you. That's actually gonna be a thing. We're gonna start quizzing you like an AR reading quiz at the end of all these episodes. I'm just
Okay.
I'm
Just to
just
see how much, like, when people believe, like, people are like, "Do you actually read that much?" I'll be like, "Well, according to my AR quiz at the end of
Yes,
my weekly
100%.
podcast, yes."
Yes. I can read a lot of books too. Like if I was a stay-at-home mom, I could crunch like 15 books a month. Especially depending on what they are. But I do sometimes have a hard time remembering just character names. Like I can remember plots and all that kind of stuff. And unless it's like a series where I read like that name like a few times, like, oh shit, like don't ask me the character name. I don't remember.
No.
I just read Our Perfect Storm by Carley Fortune, which was our book club book, my in-person book club book. And don't ask me, I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I could tell you, like, a general summary
Yeah.
of every single book.
Yeah.
Ask me for a character's name, and I'm gonna need to take a walk because
Yeah.
couldn't
Well, and honestly, like sometimes fantasy is like really hard with names too. Like, what are we doing with like these like 10-letter long, like a whole bunch of vowels in the middle of that? Like, how do you pronounce that? Then I have to make it up in my head. And so now I have to memorize how it's actually written, and then I have to memorize what I called it in my head. It's just
The
that's
moral of the story is we just don't know character names, and we may or may not know the books that we're reading, but we are reading them.
well, that is
Do you
one-sided
actually know?
almost. Yeah, I know, I know. So
Okay.
like I said, I finished Our Perfect Storm, and then I'm still 40% through Wheel of Time book 4. I was supposed to finish that last month. I'm behind because if you guys don't know, I'm doing like a Wheel of Time buddy read. We read one a month, which I haven't heard from Eli in forever, so I think maybe I am just the one that's still doing that. I switched it over. But yeah, I'm behind. I need to catch up, but it's like I have like 11 hours left on that audio at 2.5x.
See, I feel like we should discuss audiobook speeds.
Yes. That's a really funny story, actually, because I was just living my life at 2x, right? Like 2x is fine for me. And then Cass was like, go ahead, tell the room what you read, what you listen.
I listen at 2.7.
Yeah. And I was like, girl, what? Like, I remember you told me we were on a TikTok live, and I was like, no, you don't. And you're like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, bro, like, be so for real. So in my curiosity, right? I'm a science teacher. I'm going to test some things out. I'm going to experiment, do some hypotheses. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, you know what? I can hear it. 2.7 is too fast for me, but I knocked it down to 2.5 and I was like, there's not that much difference between 2.5 and 2. So here I am just vibing.
And that's what I'm saying. And I feel like there are a lot of audiobook narrators in general,
Oh,
but I feel like there are also just certain ones, especially like in the fantasy
yeah.
realm. Like I can like name off like Steve West is one. You have Kate reading.
Don't ask
There
me names.
don't
Oh,
ask
Jeff
names.
Hayes? Jeff Hayes.
Moira Quick. They're
Oh,
like
she's
love
great.
Moira Quick. She's great. But like there are like certain ones that I feel like I hear all the time. And because I hear them and they narrate so many of the same books,
Mm.
I'm used to the sound of their voice and I can speed it up. And that's kind of where I've gotten where it just naturally I was like, you're talking a little bit too slow for me. So I
Oh my god.
sped it up.
Have you listened to Sun Eater on audio?
Yes, that's how I listen to it on 2.7.
Bro, no, I'm 2.7 for Sun Eater too, because that narrator, if okay, I need anyone just like on your sample, like if you can get a sample, just audio, just listen to this dude talk. It is like Hadrian,
Yes.
Marlowe walked, and I was like, no, 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 I will not be doing that. So yeah, that's at 2.7 speed for me, for real.
And I feel like that is part of why I was able to get book through most of those books so quickly was
Mhm.
just it is a very slow narration and
Yes.
those books are very, very thick.
Have you finished
And
Sun Eater, by the way?
not yet. I still have the last two to go.
Oh. Well, I think those are probably the two best. So
Okay. So I have something to look forward to. I
yeah,
told myself I was gonna finish it. Haven't yet, but also I've told myself I'm gonna finish a lot of series and haven't yet.
that's been a goal for me. But let me finish. This is how we are. We're talking about like what we're reading. It should be like a quick like just listing off the books, and we're like 10 minutes in. It is. I also started, and this is one of Cass's favorite series. She's been asking me to read it for a long
Oh,
time, and I'm
I
kind of
love it.
stubborn. I will read things when I want to read them, right? So I started Daughter of No Worlds, which is the first in the trilogy of
War of
tell
Lost Hearts.
War of Lost Hearts. Yeah, see, Cass knows all of like the series names, and I will call Game of Thrones just to bug people, and they're like, "It's a Song of Ice and Fire," and I'm like, "Okay, or Game of Thrones." So
Same thing. We
yes.
all knew what we were talking about.
Yes. So yeah, I am like 40% through that. I'm really enjoying it. I do think it's gonna suffer from a case of just kind of like being marketed as a romantasy, and it's has a love interest. You know, like what we have to draw the line, right? What is a
Yes.
romantasy? If there's a central love interest, is that romantasy? I think maybe no.
I think
Is that Eva?
that is Eva in the background. She
She's
also
our
has opinions and she doesn't agree either.
yeah. She's like, no, this is not romantasy.
No, she said a romance subplot is just she
Oh
wanted
my
to make
god, oh my god, look at her, look at her. She
she's
said,
like, "Hi."
she's on inaugural episode.
I
Catch me in
know.
that right now. Is she wearing her Red Rising bandana?
She's not wearing any bandana at the moment because it was the end of the day, so we took off her bandana.
How is she going to be our mascot if she's not going to rep one of our favorite series?
I know, that's true. And you know what? Next time. Next
Are
time
you
she'll have a different bandana on every single episode.
are you scared for me to read Daughter of No Worlds?
I am terrified in the aspect of you can be brutally honest, which is like I'm happy when people are brutally honest when they don't like things. However, when
Mhm.
it's one of my favorite series, hearing that you don't like it makes me nervous because I don't want anybody to hurt my baby.
Well, I mean, so far I am really enjoying it and I really like it, but we've talked about this. I have been doing both physical and audio. The audio is not great.
The audio
No.
is horrible. Do not listen to the audiobook. If you take
Yeah,
anything away from this episode, do not listen to the audiobook.
no, no. Also like the audio narrator is giving her because okay, so not a spoiler, but she doesn't know the language. as well. And so when she speaks, she kind of speaks, you know, like a little stunted, like not complete sentences. We're missing some words in there, right? And then the audio narrator makes her have like a Russian accent for some reason.
Oh, not what I would have expected.
Yeah, she has like a Russian accent when she's like talking about like what this? And then I'm just like, "Whoa." It just takes me out, and so, yeah, that's funny for me. But, yeah, the audio narrator's not great, and then I also saw someone make a comment on one of my posts, I don't know, that the male audio narrator was really bad, and I have not got to them yet, so
I listened to the first, like, maybe 10 minutes of the audiobook, and
Oh,
then I
you're like, "No."
stopped because I love the series, and I was worried that it was going to make me not love one of my favorite series as much.
Yeah, so I'm actually not really that picky for, like, audio narrators, like, if they're bad, I just, like I can just listen to the story, you know? But,
Yeah.
yeah, she's particularly bad. There's obviously other books that I think have way better audio narrations, but I'm not super picky about that. I can listen to a bad audio and then not, like, take away from my experience of the book, if that makes sense.
Couldn't be me.
So
And
many people, though.
I mean, I feel like the audiobook, the narrator gives you an experience,
Oh.
like, in and of themselves
Well,
with
Cass,
their narration.
some people would say you listening by 2.7 is taking away from the performance of the audiobook. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm not
I
hating, I'm
would
just
be
saying.
sleeping if I was listening on 1 time speed. There would be no
Oh,
performance to take in.
I have to have undiagnosed ADHD because, like, when people start talking slow in my real life, I almost am like, "Come on, no." And then, like, I have bless my best friend, like, I think I said breast friend, by the way. Best friend. She will tell me stories, and she talks kinda slow, and then, like, she's gotta give me, like, context for the context for the context for the context, and I have to tell her, I'm like, "Tell me at the end of the story, and then we'll go back. Like, I just need to know. Please, what are we doing here?" So
I I'm the same way, so no judgment to her because that's me.
you know, I do notice that a little bit, but it's fine. It hasn't it's usually about books, and so that's fine. But we should segue into we do have a book club, and we've had a book club for a few months now, and
Yeah.
it's called Cass and Alicia's Hidden Gems. It's on Fable. And what are we reading next month in June?
We're reading Tigana. Tig Tigana, is that how you pronounce it? We're
Do you
gonna
notice
say
how I made you say that?
yes. I just because I like how you were like, "I don't know how it's pronounced. We'll just, like, shift it to her." So,
Yeah.
Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay,
And this will
and
be Cass's first.
it'll be my first. I am both excited and nervous at the same time
Yeah.
just because I hear such great things about him as an author, and what if I'm not a fan?
So, So what's interesting, because Guy Gavriel Kay, he writes a lot of like standalone historic fiction fantasy. I hear that this is his most fantasy book that he's written. And I
Okay.
also hear that it is his most like controversial. Like people either love, love, love it or they hate it. So I'm interested. The book that I read that I absolutely love, and if anyone is listening, that's the second thing you should take away from this is that you should go read The Lions of Al-Rassan. It's his more beloved book. So don't rule him out, is what I'm saying, if you don't like it.
Okay. Considering I feel like our hidden gems have been kind of polarizing one way or the other. We either don't
Oh.
like it or we do like it. I'm kind of curious where this one's gonna fall.
I've
It can
been
go
such a
2 ways.
I have been such a bad Hidden Gems reader. What was the first one we read? Not The Bone Ships?
The bone chips, and we both I soft
Yeah.
DNF'd it. You said you just straight DNF'd it.
You know, like, okay, we both have read so many books, thousands of books. And so, like, and people will get mad at me. They're like, how can you DNF like within like 10%? And I'm like, I know. I just know. Unless it's a book series that or a book that people are like, absolutely, like, you have to get to 30%, like, get to 30% and they're trusted, you know, I'll do it. But like, I can pretty much tell right away if I'm going to like a book or not. And it's not a bad book. It was well written. I just have no interest on going on this journey with him, unfortunately. And neither do
I
cats.
I tried. I put it I for me, I put it as a soft DNF solely because of the fact that I feel like I could like it. I just didn't like what I was reading in the moment. Like,
You
it was
know,
something I
remember
could
reading a show,
enjoy, but just not at that moment.
And see, Dark Rise, which was I have that book, actually, a physical book of that. I will read that book, but it was not the time for me. You have to be in a because it's a YA book for our second one we're reading, and you have to be in a YA mood. You do. And I was
Yes.
not. I was not.
I read both Dark Rise and Dark Heir within 1 week.
It was good. I got
Yes,
I
enjoyed
got
it.
20 I got 20% in, and sometimes and honestly, sometimes starting a new fantasy world too, and I don't know much about it. It's a hidden gem, right? Like, I don't know anything about it. And so sometimes when I go into fantasy series, like, I know a bit about it, right? Like, I
Yes.
know when I was reading the Bloodthorn saga that we were in, like, Vikings, you know? So, like, I was already in that setting, and so for this one, kind of I had no idea we were set in London. I have no idea any of, like, the things that we were doing, and so at the moment, I was not ready to learn, a new world at that point. Not a new world, but, like, a new fantasy. Does that make sense? Am I, like, just
Yes.
talking nonsense? Okay. I'm like,
No, I completely follow you. I get it. There are times I mean, I personally I feel like I'm more of a hate reader than I am like a
"Ooh,
DNFer. So
could not be me." I honestly can't. I can't finish it. If I don't like the book, and I won't read.
I want to be an informed hater. I want to be able to tell you why.
Yeah, honestly, I hate finish Silver Elite, and it made me a worse person for that. So yeah. There's only one time I've ever been like, because like when you make content, like there are people who love these books that you don't like. And it's hard to be true to your audience and be like, I did not like this book at all without also like polarizing and isolating and just like being like negative to possibly people. And I feel like maybe I was emboldened by all of the hype Silver Elite got, right? Like
Yes.
massive, massive hype. And we have an anonymous author, so maybe I felt more emboldened since I didn't know, like, the person who wrote it? But I gave that a scathing review. I don't even go look for that video, guys. I took it down because I felt bad afterwards. Yeah, that's the only
I
time I mean, I think.
I don't think I've ever posted anything mean, but I will say that I've wrote some scathing reviews
Yeah, you
and
have. I've seen him.
I've wrote some scathing reviews before, but a lot of times like my like 1 stars I feel like are normally like 1 sentence long. Like if it's a
Yeah.
2 star, like I'll give you like a whole like in detail, but like a 1 star like hate read, it's not even worth my time to fully review it, but I just want people to know I didn't like it.
Next episode, we have to talk about, I think we should talk about all the books that we loved that the other did not like, because there's a few.
There are a few.
And if we
Oh,
get into it right now, we won't get into our topic for for this week. But maybe next week we'll talk about like books Cass loved that Alysha hated and vice versa, because we have a few,
we do
unfortunately.
have a few, but great segue for us to head into our top 5 favorite sci-fi and fantasy series.
Before we do that though, I want people to pause this video and in the comments, I want you to write how many do you think that we have that are overlapping?
Because it's
Because
honestly probably less than you'd think.
I know, but there are some.
There are some.
There are
There are
some.
some. I feel like there's one that everybody would immediately guess, but I feel like there's another I
Yes.
don't think everybody would immediately guess.
Hmm. Well, I'm looking at our outline and my 5 is currently blank. So I need to really commit to my 5th one right now. So Cass, go ahead. Let's go ahead and get yours in order.
Okay, so I'm gonna go from 5 down to 1
Ooh.
because really, like,
Just build
build
this
up.
anticipate.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
What could it possibly be? So my number 5 is actually the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, which is what you're reading right now.
That's why you're so
I
nervous.
love Tasana. I love Max. I love everything about that series so much, and I'm so glad that it got traditionally published and it's finally getting its moment because it rightfully deserves it.
Do you think they get better as they go on?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they get better as they go on. However, there is one scene in the second book that is probably one of my favorite scenes in any book ever written.
Ooh, I cannot wait till we can talk about that. All right.
Yes.
Number 4.
Number 4, Strange the Dreamer, Duology. I love that duology so much. I recently got a moth for Laszlo and Sarai because I love that series so much. I think it is the most perfect YA duology that anybody could ever read, and everybody needs to read it.
I
Number
will.
th- you will, maybe, who knows? If you hate it, don't tell me.
Oh, oh.
Number 3, probably lower than some people would expect, is actually Red Rising.
Oh,
I know. Red Rising, number 3, love it. Also have a tattoo dedicated to Red Rising.
yes.
It says, "And my honor remains."
If
My
you know, you know.
number 2 is The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne, and I love that series so much. I surprisingly don't have a tattoo dedicated, but
Yes.
if John wants to tell me what to get, I will get whatever he tells me.
Oh, okay. So now I have to do some guessing of what John Glenn would say. He's either going to tell you like a sword, Corbin sword, or he's going
I
to tell
have
you a
sword.
wolf. No, Corbin sword, like with the
I know.
wolf, with the
I
wolf,
know.
or he's going to tell you a wolf. John Gwen, the brothers Gwen, let us know,
Yeah,
and Cass will do it.
I'll do it. Whatever tattoo you think I should get for The Faithful and the Fallen, whether it says truth and
Okay,
courage, whether
okay.
it's a
So
symbol.
you saved yourself by saying from the faithful and the fallen, because I was like,
Yes.
just any.
No, no, no.
Because
From The
you're
Faithful
about
and
to
the
get
Fallen.
John Gwen's #1 fan tattooed on your forehead.
It really is. And you know what? It'd be true. It'd be true. John
Oh,
Gwynne, I am your number 1 fan.
oh, you heard it here first. We can just I know we're like a brief moment. We both love John Gwynn
I
so
love
much.
him
He is
so
the
much.
kindest person ever. If you have anything negative to say about John Gwynn, which who would? No one
You
can.
I
You're
don't
not.
think there's a
It's not a
negative thing
safe
to
space.
say.
Yeah, but it's not a safe space here.
It's
So
not.
just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. All right.
Number 1, Throne of Glass.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
there is just something about the way those characters made me feel, and that entire series as a whole made me feel. I have never felt the same. I became a changed person
It
after I
needs to be
finished it.
studied. It needs
It
to be studied
does. I don't know what she put in those books, but it was addictive and the best way.
the best way. Okay. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
I'm like sweating at #5 because if you follow me for any amount of time, you know I got like 7 that I talk about and I bully you guys all the time into reading. I 5 is the Daevabad trilogy by Shannon Chakraborty. That's
Ah,
what my heart is telling me today, right now. Number
as
5.
it should.
It's a trilogy. It's amazing. If you haven't read it, why not? Why not?
You're missing out. You
Yeah,
just said
Cass has
it.
read it. Cass has
I
read
love
it.
it.
Number 4 is Aragon. Something about your first fantasy series. And like obviously like Harry Potter is my first, but like my first high fantasy series was Aragon and it made me love fantasy. I have reread it as an adult. It holds up. Aragon. I love it.
As long as nobody references the movie in
Yes.
anybody's vicinity, it's
No,
a safe space.
it doesn't exist.
It never heard
What
of it,
movie?
honestly.
What movie? Yeah. I didn't know there was a movie. Don't look at it. Don't search for it.
The more you know.
Number 3 is Game of Thrones.
As it should be.
It
I
should
feel like
be.
it
Yeah.
just needs to be finished. That's all I'm
I
asking for.
I read Aragon and then at 19 I started Game of Thrones. And so like that's like my more adult, fantasy series and I was reading it before the show was coming out. Like I had read book 1 and then season 2 was coming out and so I got to read them ahead of time. So like I got to read, like the Red Wedding. I got to read it.
Yes. I remember reading that and just being like, "What?" Because I hadn't seen the show yet. So
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait a second," and then visually watching it too, life
Still got
changing.
me. No, I'm reading it and I swear I'm like closing it. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I'm like opening it again and I'm closing it like just like sentences. I'm like freaking out. And I remember trying to like tell my dad about this and like giving him context for this political chess move of Game of Thrones where there's a million pieces. And he's like, so somebody's dying? I'm like, yeah, but worse. Kind of. It was
It's
so
worse
agonizing.
because there were so many people dying,
Ugh,
and the way that that scene altered
yeah.
the rest of the series. Well, the
It
series
altered
isn't finished,
me.
but
It altered me. I'm traumatized still.
I think if I, like, think hard enough and I close my eyes, I can just, like, picture the moment I read that and realized what that meant. and
I'm in
what
my
was happening.
childhood bedroom. I'm on my childhood bedroom bed reading that. I can, like, almost, like, see myself, like, like
From, like, above, like, watching
yes.
yourself just, like,
Yeah,
hovering.
just closing. Alright, what are we on, 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 is Throne of Glass for me. Like,
I
it's just
mean,
amazing.
obviously.
I don't
Obviously.
I don't like to take slander for Throne of Glass. It's easy to, like, hate on Throne of Glass, right? It's so big, it's so popular, like, so many people love it, but for a reason, right? And, like, I remember reading Throne of Glass, and I read it, like, 2 years ago, so, like, I'm new. Like, I was an adult, right? And it starts off young adult, it gets adult. I think the series finishes adult for sure.
Yes,
Um
for sure.
she was young when she wrote it, but, like, these characters and the story and the plot, it's so meaningful. Like, and I think about it legit every day.
I do too. I like how, for me, how the characters not only grew, like, you grew with the characters, but, like, you could tell that Sarah, as she wrote, was growing as
Yes.
well, and you can see that in Aelin, and you can see that in I don't wanna say other characters' name
Yeah.
Dorian, Kale, Selena, like,
Yeah.
all of, like, these characters, you can see their growth on the pages, and you could tell that she was putting experiences herself. Obviously, she doesn't live in a magical world
Right.
where magic no longer exists, but the
Yeah.
concept is that still there,
And
and
honestly, like, it was a plot that I was like, because sometimes with fantasy plots, like, I care more about the characters than I do about, like, kinda what's happening. Like, I hope they win, but, like, I'm not
Mhm.
I was invested in it. I'm like, "Where is this coming from?" Like, "Oh my gosh." Like, every time I would get, like, a new information, I was like, "Oh my god, how are we gonna stop them? Like, how are we gonna stop them? What are we gonna do?" And so I really like that part, and I bet you cannot guess number 1.
you know, I feel like it's
I'm just
almost
so quiet about it, like, I never talk about it.
I feel like it's also a very underrated series that nobody ever talks about either. Like,
It's
most
severely
people probably
under
haven't heard of it. It's an underground name. Is it potentially
yeah.
called Red Rising?
Oh! Yes, obviously it's Red Rising, but what I thought was cool to me was when I was doing, like, my other ones, when I was talking about, like, why I love those series so much, it's really a culmination of, like, why I love Red Rising, right? Like, the characters for Throne of Glass, like, I love being with those characters, and, the plot is so interesting. Game of Thrones, like, there are red wedding scenes in Red Rising that made me go back to that moment, and I love all the politicking. I love the twist. I love the hurt. I love the characters. And so, yeah, like that's why I love Red Rising so much. It's just everything to me. Like, I love that series so much. And it's so funny because I read Throne of Glass first, right? And so I was like, always waiting for like a series to dethrone Harry Potter for me, right? I was a huge, huge Harry Potter fan in high school. Like, embarrassing. Like, you guys can imagine, I'm sure.
You would have gotten the Deathly Hallows tattoo had you been allowed to.
No, I was this close. I was in the tattoo and then, like, for, with college money, and it was a little more expensive than I were expecting it to be, right? Like, instead of
Mhm.
$50, it was $80, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe later," and I'm so glad. People
Just have
are
the
like
Deathly Hallows.
"Where's your Red Rising tattoo?" And I'm like, "Listen, we'll get something that it could mean something else, but nothing means the Deathly Hallows, like, that's it, like"
Yes.
You're stuck with the Deathly Hollows for sure. But yeah, so I was waiting for something to dethrone Harry Potter, and I was like, Throne of Glass, that's it. It did. It dethrones, that's it. And then I read Red Rising right afterwards. I'm like, oh my God. So sorry, Throne of Glass. You were number one for such a short period of time. But
Here's
yeah, Throne of Glass, Red Rising, Lightbringer, that like that's that series for me. That's that girl.
I trust me, I know. I remember reading Lightbringer right before I went to work, and my eyes were puffy, and I'm like, "This is embarrassing."
Yeah, actually my son, my 3-year-old calls Lightbringer Mommy Sad Book.
Oh.
'Cause I was reading it on the couch, finishing it, and I have had it spoiled to me, right? Like, I had it spoiled, but still, it hurt really bad, and so, yeah, Mommy Sad Book is up there, right there.
I don't have a sad book. I mean, I could probably say
Yeah, you
I also
do. How many people on the internet saw you bawling your eyes out, my dude? What do you mean you don't have a sad book?
I guess I do have a sad book. That's true. That I never expected. It's funny because when it came to that series, I love, like, The Faithful and the Fallen so much, and I had a friend recommend it to me. And she was like, you need to read it. You need to read it. And I kept being like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So I finally picked it up. I read the first book, really, really liked it. Second book, really, really liked it. Third book, I was like, why didn't you bully me harder? Because I love this series so much.
Mhm.
The fourth book, the video that I was snipping was the video I was making to send to her
Mhm.
saying, what do you mean that there's everybody's still alive? Because I know every single fantasy book does it to
Mhm.
you. Those last
Mhm.
200 pages are life or death in so
Yeah.
many different aspects.
And for John Gwynn, it was mostly death.
And then
So
for John Gwynn, he said nobody is safe.
yeah.
And
He said
my
the
tears,
faithful and the fallen. And he meant
all capitalized. The
yeah, and he
fallen,
meant he meant that.
he did. And so, yep, unfortunately, I think probably almost a million people have seen me crying on the internet.
I love that for you. I absolutely do. I know it made the rounds on Instagram. How did it do on TikTok? Also?
I think about 300,000 people saw it on TikTok as well.
Oh,
So, yep.
girl. You know?
Just a
A
few.
body
Just a few people saw me bawling my eyes out.
but I don't have a sad book. Okay.
Well, okay. Well, I just have a video of me crying with that
Yeah,
book.
and she wasn't just like a little crying. There was like gasps and
There was
sobs.
gas. It was full body sobs. It was full body sobs. I'll be honest. It was full body.
And John Gwynn said that he felt a little bad, but not a lot.
No, he said, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I still blame him.
Yeah. Honestly, that was one of my favorite things is the first author I got to interview was John Gwynn, and he was so kind and so nice, but I loved to get to talk to him, and he really had some good insights, so go watch that if you're interested in it. He's the best. And you also have a really meaningful story to go with John Gwynn about your life. You want to share?
Yes. So backstory. I never wanted a public proposal. The thought of being proposed to in public actually terrified me. Was I going to say no? No. But I still was absolutely terrified of it. And I was filming a video talking about some books, holding up my handy dandy Faithful and the Fallen, the first book, Malice, talking about how much I absolutely loved that. And my boyfriend at the time was standing over there in the corner. You can't see him, he's off camera, hovering, and he never hovers. And I was terrified.
You can
And
see you can I've seen the raw though. I've seen the raw footage of that and you can like see like
I it gave me so much anxiety.
I
And
bet.
he's like, "Well, I hear you recording." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't watch me record." And he's like, "No, keep going, keep going." So I finished talking about how much I absolutely love Malice, The Faithful and the Fallen, and how you should read it. I set the book down. I turn around and he's like, "Now that you finished talking about this book, will you marry me?" And I my immediate actual question was, "Are you serious? Is this real?" And so then I burst into tears. But so The Faithful and the Fallen has been with me on so many different aspects of my life, from millions of people seeing me cry to also being there when I was proposed to. And it was perfect because I was able to capture my proposal on video without being in public. So it was truly the
Yes.
most perfect way I could have been proposed to,
Uh,
truthfully.
and I just want to flex on everyone in Cass's personal life and on the internet is that Cass FaceTimed me immediately that day. And she
Yep.
was like, look, I was like,
Look
oh
what
my
I
God. I know. I was like, also John Glenn has obviously seen that video. He's commented on it, but I remember him telling me how special that was. Like how like he loved that. Like that meant a lot to him. And John Glenn's such a family guy. He loves his family, he loves his readers, he loves his fans. And so like John Gwen stan accounts over here. Like we could just rename this podcast to John Gwen's like fan club.
It really is, because I could probably bring up John Gwynn, any of his books in any capacity if I really wanted to. I'd find
Yeah.
a way to segue back to John Gwynn.
I need to finish. I am Fury of the Gods. That's my last one. I'm gonna read that this month. Well, June, I call. It's so close to May. June, right? And
Yes.
then I'm gonna start his what is it? A Blood and Bone. A Blood and Bone. And then I will be all
Yes.
caught up. But that's the perfect segue because we're gonna talk about some bookish news. It's gonna be a segment that we have. We can talk about because we know we're like in the community so much. We follow all of these things and we get all these updates, and we're gonna pass that information on to you. Wolves of War, we are going to get a cover reveal. So,
I think it is stunning. I
yes.
like how it looks like a mass market paperback,
Yep.
like from like the 80s, 90s, but it
Hmm.
also is like very chic. And I don't know much about this book yet. None of us really do, but I'm
Yep.
hoping that it really encompasses and embodies what this story is meant to be. Because if the cover says anything, this book is going to be an absolute banger of a book.
So I do know that John Gwynn has said that it follows a family, right? And
Yes.
then he has a father-daughter relationship, and it's modeled after him and his daughter's relationship. And I just know this book is going to be so emotional and so good. And also, like, if I could have bet $1 million on what the base color of that cover would be, I would have won $1 million. I mean, we all
I
would have.
I think we all would have. And I mean, his covers, I feel like, are always so well done, but
Yes.
I also think that this story is going to be incredible, just knowing
Yes.
how much it means to him. And he said
Yeah.
in your interview and like other things that I've seen him say about the Wolves of War is how much this book means to him, and that
Yeah.
this is his favorite book that he's written. And knowing that he's already so emotionally invested in this story and he hasn't yet given it to the readers and it hasn't truly been brought to life yet, because I feel like readers really bring a
Right.
story to life. Just knowing how compassionate and how passionate he is about the story that he told, I cannot wait for it to be in my hands.
Well, this is not a secret, but me and Cass are so lucky that we get to be part of the war band from Orbit, and we get to do some promotional stuff for it. We're gonna get an arc, and it's also supposed to be like an arc that's like special for us.
I did see that
Yep.
and I can't wait because I don't know what that
Yeah.
means, but all I
Yeah.
know is that it is going to be like sitting in
Up
a prime
price.
spot.
Hmm.
I'll be like, "Did you see that?"
Yes.
Everybody's gonna
Uh,
know.
this is just off the cuff, Cass. Not to put you on the spot, but we should buddy read that together.
I expect you to read fast.
I will, bro.
Okay.
First of all, put some respect on my name. I am a
I'm just
fast
saying.
reader.
I'm not saying that you're not a fast reader. I just have
Right.
a feeling that I'm going to consume this book. This book is going to consume me and I'm going
It's
to
going to be
consume it.
funny. It's going to be funny that when we're going to get it and you're going to be like, okay, I just need to finish up this book. And then I just zoom past it. Done.
Yes.
Now what,
And
Cass?
and
Now what?
you'll be like, and maybe if you read faster,
And I'll
then
be
we could
like,
have read it
and let
together.
me know when you get to page 486. Just kidding. I would not spoil that book for you, but maybe we'll have to do some buddy read. But it comes out in November 3rd. So you can pre-order it anywhere. We are not paid to say that. I just love Jean Gwyn so much, and
Yes.
anytime that we can support him, we're gonna do that. So
Yes, you can pre-order it. There are a bunch of different places. I know off the top of my head, places that still have signed copies available are Barnes& and Noble, Books A Million, and I'm pretty sure the Broken Binding does as well. So,
ooh. Yeah, if you want to
and
sign
I and if you order from the Broken Binding, I believe it comes out
it.
in September.
And if you order from the Broken Binding, please
Yes.
use code Alysha
Or code Cass.
or code Alysha. Just kidding.
And I think because it comes out in September in the UK,
UK.
so I think if you order it from the Broken Binding using code CAST, that
Alysha.
you will get it sooner.
Alysha. I did not know that. That is
Alysha.
a pro tip if I ever heard one.
That's sort of
So
like, I
this is why
know
this is why people are going to be listening because we got the pro tips.
we
We're
got the pro
professional.
tips. They'll be like, if you ever want something early, check and see if it comes out earlier in the UK.
Oh yeah, Shannon Lawless does too. I know the
The
Son of the
Serpent.
Serpent. Yes, that
Yep.
comes out in September, but November US. I
And
got the arc for that. Did you get the arc for that?
I did get the arc for that. I just haven't read
Me
I
either.
haven't read the first book in the next part of the trilogy yet.
So
Well,
are
the
we about to read?
series.
Are we about to read 3 books this month together?
I think we might have to.
I just bought the audio for Daughter of the Otherworld. Right? Is that the right?
Yes,
There's
Daughter of
too
the
many there's too many daughters, there's too many
Yes,
worlds. Okay.
there are.
Um, so I really like the audio for that. So I purchased the audio. So I'm ready to go as soon as I finish book 1 of Daughter of No Lost Worlds. I don't know.
Daughter of
World.
No Worlds.
Daughter of No Worlds. War of Lost Hearts.
Yes.
I'm
And I finally figured out what I'm reading. I'm reading Fallen City by Adrienne Young.
You know what? I want to read that. So let me know how it is.
Thank
I got
you.
the arc for Chosen Son, which don't ask questions. Why did you request the arc for a book that you haven't read the first? Don't ask. I
I
panicked. I panicked. My
I
net
think
galley is so low, and they're not like approving me of so many different books. So like I kind of like any book that I like had heard of it. I was like, okay, we'll request, and so they gave me Chosen Son. So I will be reading that, so I can read that. I don't know when that comes out. I think later this year. I think I have time.
okay. I was gonna say, I'm like thinking, the more I've been thinking about it, the more I realize I think I'm actually like 50% into this book.
You are not going to beat the allegations.
I'm not gonna be the allegations. I'm not. But you know what? Now that I've thought about it, I could tell you everything that's happened. I know like what's happened. I know the
It has left an impression on Cass. You could tell that she is very passionate about Fallen City. She
I I am. Yep, it is. You have two different perspectives. You have Maris and Luca.
Roman,
Look, I have
Roman solution.
it's Roman, yep. And there's gods and there's
I haven't read it.
rebellion happening. And Luca's on the outside and Maris is on the inside.
And
Yeah.
then they're going to be
And they want to be together. And you're getting before the rebellion happened and during the rebellion. And yeah, no. See, look, I thought about it a little bit. While you've been talking, I've been listening, but I've also been like, what am I reading?
you just immediately panicked when I asked what you were reading, and
I
you were like,
I
I don't know,
did.
what am I reading? Have you seen that SpongeBob episode where like, what's
Yes.
my name? What's my name? And they're just like burning everything to figure out the name. That was you this whole
That was
time.
me when you asked me what am I reading because I actually do know what I gave you character names. I gave you character names. That's how you know I actually know what I'm reading.
Yeah, I know Max and Tasana. Cool, cool. All right, so we have some more bookish news. So I'll let you say it since it's your 5th favorite series of all time.
So, Moonlight Box and Fairyloot are both doing special editions of the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. And don't ask me when either of them are coming out, when you can pre-order. I believe Fairyloot is in June. I don't know when Moonlight Box is.
Ooh, I'm picking a good time to read it because then maybe I will want to pre-order it for Fairyloot.
Yes.
So
I
I do
love
not like
that
the
series.
original indie covers. I don't.
Really? I like the indie covers a lot, actually.
We'll talk later. I don't want to
Okay.
spoil anything for the
Okay.
people because I just have questions for that. So we talked about the Wolves of War, Ballad of Fallen Dragons. That is the second and When the Moon Hatched Moonfall series.
Yes.
Moonbeam series, a
Moonbeam.
moon something series. That came out. Are you gonna read it? Or are you gonna read When the Moon Hatched first? Reread.
I think I'm going to look on YouTube and watch
Mm.
a video synopsis, like an hour-long breakdown of what happened, because I read that book back in July of 2023,
Yep.
and I pre-ordered it when it came available in November of 2023. It is currently May, 28th of 2026.
Yeah.
So,
No.
it's been a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a bit.
That's I'm gonna freeball it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
I feel like that's
yeah.
dangerous. Good luck. I wish you the best.
I read the first chapter and I was like, I was getting back to it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's some people's names that I don't know, but I'm like, Sarah's gonna tell me again. She'll tell me. She'll give me
Well,
context.
it'll be fine. You'll figure it out. I've
Actually, I say that, and she really didn't. She talked about a series that just drops you into the middle of a book, and she's like, "No context, figure it out." Like she really was like that. She was like, "Go on, be
good
free."
luck. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Here's this 100-page glossary.
Yep, no, she said sink or swim.
Yeah, she really did, and I liked it. I know some people struggle with that. All right, you wanna do the next one?
We have exciting news. If you are a Brandon Sanderson fan, Skyward is being adapted by the same producers that made One Piece.
Live
So,
action.
live action. So, that is really exciting. I have not read Skyward yet, but
It's a young adult series.
yes, I've heard
Not
great
a part
things.
not a part of the Cosmere.
No,
That's
I,
a part.
yes, not a part of the Cosmere, but written by Brandon Sanderson. I've heard great things about it. A friend of mine absolutely loves it. My Libby hold just came in, so I'm going to be reading it very shortly.
Ooh. Well, we also have Cold Wind is the sequel to Ironbound by Andrew Gibbler that just came out. I will be interviewing Andrew in a couple days, so that's exciting. We both read and loved Ironbound.
Yes, it had, like, my favorite pieces from, like, all of my different favorite books kind of
Yes.
compiled into one, and it was really well done in that aspect, just having so many different pieces, and you can tell that, like, he's a reader making a book for other readers, but, like,
Yeah.
in a good way.
My first question to Andrew is going to be so every day, and that's going to be how often do you think about the Roman Empire series? Because he thinks about that every day. He has to.
Oh, yes.
I want to know, does
Yes.
he like schedule time in his day to take breaks to think of like the Roman Empire, or is it just constantly in the background? That's what I'm gonna ask him.
And I feel like it's probably constantly in the background. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
probably.
my thought.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. When are you gonna read Cold Wind?
Hopefully sooner than later. I also have
Also, I'm thinking about that. Andy, you didn't send me a book for Cold Wind. I got spoiled. You sent me Ironbound. Where's Cold Wind? You know what? I think I did fill out the form. That's me. That's my bad.
I like how immediately you talked it through and you're like, "And you
Yeah.
know what? It was all me. It was
Yeah,
all me."
so sorry, Andy. I would never want to speak bad on the book giant's name. He is just a book giant fairy. He will sprinkle books for you. So if you're not friends with Andy Peliquin, then you're missing out.
He is
So
also like a gentle giant and one of the
yes,
nicest humans I have ever met. Like
and he writes his
actually
own, and he writes books too, which I have downloaded on my Kindle. I bought it. I'm going to read it, Andy. Please don't think that I'm not going to. I am insufferable, and I'm a mood reader. I'm going to read it. Okay.
I get it, I get it. It
Yeah.
sounds like it almost sounds like there is a gun to your head right now, and Andy's like and he's like, "Read my book." And you're like, "I promise I'm going to read it. I swear to you, like,
He's all
this will be
say
read."
say you're going to read it.
I know. That is what it sounds like right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's just my personality, unfortunately. All
It's
right.
okay, it's okay.
And do you want me to say the last
Um,
one, or you can say the last one?
you can say the
Okay.
last one.
Saga Press acquired this fantasy trilogy. Don't quote me on that. It's The Call of Empyrean by Robert Gardner. That is coming out next summer, 2027. I have already bugged Saga Press and I said, hi, I would like that. Hark. So I'm excited about that. It's got a lot of I can't think of the blurb, but if you read the blurb is great.
I
We could
haven't
probably
even
pull up
read
the
the blurb.
blurb, but well, I'm telling you, you're gonna like it. I don't know. I mean, he's a debut author, but I'm excited. And when I get excited, I'm like, I need it. So keep that on your next year calendar, everyone. We are winding down, and we would like to do either an author spotlight or a book or even a content creator or somebody who, like a small business. So we do have an author spotlight today. Cass, you want to introduce her?
It is one of my favorite and one of Alicia's favorite authors, Shannon Chakraborty. We
Yes. Oh,
both love the Daevabad trilogy. It's
mhm.
Alicia's number 5 today. It is my number 6, and I know. And she just released the second book in the Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, The Tapestry of Fate. I've
Yes.
already read it, and it is excellent.
Yes, we were just talking about like some books that make or break for like audio, and you should be able to read all of Shan Chakraborty's books. Like, she is a phenomenal writer. Like, one of my favorite authors. Like, I'm gonna say number two right now. Like, she's like my number
Okay.
two favorite. And the Mina Al Sarafi series is what like segmented that for me. Like, so good. But the audio for Amina was
Fantastic.
so good. It was a production. Like, we were getting graphic audio for not graphic audio prices, I think.
No, I completely agree.
Mhm.
narrator, the way that like you have her like muffled behind a door talking to other people, like
Yes.
it was just incredible and it really gave so much more to the book.
Yes, and it's funny, it has adventure, um, it is set in such it's like 12th century Indian Ocean, she's a pirate, like, it has a treasure hunt, it's got, like, magical beings too, it's fun, it's good, it talks about motherhood, like, I'm just gonna write a love letter to Shannon Chakraborty because I love the Daevabad trilogy, but for to read, sometimes when you read like another book by another author, like sometimes it's not as good. No, like she is dynamic. She is so thoroughly researched in her historic events. You guys need to read her. That's
Yes.
the third thing you should take from this podcast. We got a whole bunch of things that y'all got to keep
Bullet
remembering.
points at the end.
Yes, we will publish a quiz at the end.
Yes. Were you actually listening?
Also, she just announced today that the Tapestry of Fate became a USA bestseller, number one
As it
bestseller,
should.
as it should.
As it should.
I will be listening to the audio for that one. I physically read the David Bad trilogy, but I really love this narrator and just like the storytelling of it. So I will be listening to the Tapestry of Fate very soon. But I'm really glad that you read it and loved it. I just finished Amina like a couple weeks ago, and it was such a hit for me. So Shannon, flowers, girl, you're the best.
You
You are our
seriously
spotlight.
are.
Yeah. Some would argue that John Gwynne was our author spotlight.
Some
He
might.
just he was just interwoven throughout the
He's just an integral part of our
Yes.
lives as a whole.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just maybe something you should get used to, that we will be talking about John Gwynne. And if we go an episode without talking about John Gwynne, like,
It's a cry for help.
yes, it's a cry for help. But thank you guys. If you guys are still here, by the way, if you're still here at 56 minutes watching our thing, you need to drop in your comments your top 5 favorite fantasy series and say John Glenn rules. That's how we'll know that you watched this all, right?
Yes, and I'm curious how many people actually ended up sticking around, but
Mhm.
I'm also curious just how many people, since we both have Throne of Glass and Red Rising in our
Yeah.
top 5, how many other people are going to have Throne of Glass and Red Rising in their top 5, and what other series? Because I feel like you can tell from a top 5, like, series I need to read, and what am I missing out?
I think there's going to be a lot of Stormlight Archive comments.
Stormlight, I could see Mistborn being
Yes.
there. I could see Sun Eater,
Mm,
truthfully.
yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna see Sun
Um,
Eater. Greenbelt,
yeah. Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Thunder Color Coral.
Yeah. Just get my
Oh, the blade itself, I feel like, we might see some of
Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely a big one. So much. Thank you guys for listening to our inaugural episode of Read the Room with Cass and Alysha. Hopefully we read some rooms. We had a little bit of hot takes, I guess. Kinda.
kinda
Just
sorta.
baby
Just a
hot
little
takes.
bit. Maybe
But
maybe next time.
well, I was gonna say next time if our episode is gonna be books that Alysha loved and Cass hated and Cass loved and Alysha hated, there will be plenty of hot takes. It's gonna be. We're gonna be reading the room. Cass is gonna be mad at me. She's gonna be side-eyeing me. I'm gonna be
Yes,
side-eyeing
basically,
her.
you won't even really be able to read the room, you'll be feeling the tension in the room.
Through your phone.
Yes.
Through your phone, you'll feel
You'll
that
feel the
tension.
tension, and
We
that'll be the end of our podcast.
yeah, maybe we should save this for later. We also have an Instagram. Go ahead, tell us our username since you made it.
Our Instagram is Read the Room with KA, just because that is our initials. So you can follow us on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel that you can follow us where this way you'll actually be able to see us. But Instagram is
That's
going to have,
probably how you're watching us right now, actually, hopefully.
maybe you're just looking at clips. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who
But
knows?
our
You can
YouTube
subscribe.
is
Our YouTube is also Read the Room with KA. So you can find us all those places. And also, thank you from me as well for listening and chatting with us and
yes.
sticking around, hearing
Yes.
us just babble on about everything. We're so
We love
grateful for you guys.
We love you guys. Make sure to read a good book. Read books by women
Oh, most important thing, read books by women.
and follow
Um,
us on Instagram and YouTube.
and YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all of the above.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.